I was thinking it would be good to go over the tier list of ranking the Alien films, okay, while we're here. Because I've just seen Romulus, got my thoughts on it, and I know you guys too do as well. So why not take a moment to see where we're at in terms of favoring the Alien movies. Now I think it goes without saying that straight off the bat we have to put let's just get it out of the way that Alien 1, original Alien, is going to be S tier. I think we're all agreed. I think we're all agreed that that's going to be S tier. You've never seen, Sooner's never seen AVP. Oh my word. Alien number 1. Yes, exactly. So we're all agreed. Alien, S tier, far and above. So while we're on that level, I'm also going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Aliens, I think it's a completely different genre of film. However, I think it's also in that category. Now, call me nostalgic. I'm a child of the 80s and, have many fond memories of it. It's not as much of a, should we say, a horror film or a thriller as Alien, but I think it's in its own way on there. I think they're side by side. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Aliens is also in the S tier. That's where we're at. Okay. So this is where it's gonna start to get a little bit more tricky. Sinan says I was going to voice the same thing, completely different movie, but still deserves S or at least A. Yeah, I ummed and ahed over whether it would be A, but I think I have to go with my heart. I have to go S. All right, so let's go with Alien 3. Now, this is an interesting one. I have a soft spot for Alien 3. I like Alien 3. I particularly like the extended edition, if anyone's seen that. So, Alien 3 wasn't great, but is better than some of the others. From Alien 3, I think is underrated. I think it has some great ideas because it takes it back to the similar genre of the first one, being so like back to basics and stripped back. And the extended edition, if you get to see that, is really, really good. It kind of makes it just make a bit more sense. It's a bit more cohesive. But yeah, I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B for Alien 3. So Alien 4, or Alien Resurrection, as it is officially known, is not up there with the others. I think it's underrated. I think it's poorly looked at. It's a Joss Whedon movie. Can you believe that? It's written by Joss Whedon of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Toy Story. He wrote Toy Story, and he also wrote and directed. No, did he? Oh, no, directed Avengers Assemble. Like such a weird career. But I'm gonna say C. I'm gonna say C for Alien Resurrection. I don't think it's a D. I think it's a C class. It's not as bad as some of these others. So I'm gonna go with C for Alien Resurrection. Okay. All right, now, before we get on to some of the later sequels like Prometheus and everything, the next batch out, most of them were the AVP films. There was a kind of a gap in the middle where there was AVPs. To me, the AVP films are really poor. Like really poor. And I can tell you right now, I'm putting both the AVP films in D. They're going in D class. Because I think they're a waste of space. Katie's not seen any of them. There's a reason. Oh, I'm so excited I've banged my microphone. There is a reason you've not seen any AVP films because they are not worth seeing. I love Predator. I love Alien. I do not like AVP. They're not worth it. So both the AVPs. Again, it's trash. You can watch it, but they are not good. So they're going into D class. Then we have, let's go with Prometheus, because that's the next one that came out. Sunin says, I thought they were gimmicky and trying to be a cash grab, so I haven't seen. They are exactly that, Sunin. They are exactly that. Prometheus, I would say, I think it's potentially in the same class as Alien Resurrection. I think it's not as bad as the AVP movies. I think it has some nice ideas. I think it's got some really nice imagery and some interesting concepts. It goes a little bit off the rails, but I would say it's C or B. It's C or B, but I'm not sure I can put it with Alien 3. I think Alien 3 is better than Prometheus. And that's maybe harsh to say. Sunin says it's worse than 3. I would agree. So, but it's not as bad as the AVP films. So, solid C. Yeah, agreed. Solid C for Prometheus. Okay, good. All right, team. I think we're on the right track. Alien Covenant. Now, my instant thoughts on this is that Alien Covenant is a D. It's down there with the AVP films for me because it starts okay. It starts with hope. It fills me with moments of the first 20 minutes. It feels like an Alien film. And then it just goes into absolute drivel and endless exposition and tons of people of like just honestly like Fassbender moaning at himself and flirting with himself and doing exposition endlessly to himself. It's huge. It's horrible. Prometheus is enjoyable, but Alien Covenant is just atrocious. Like, please, Ridley Scott, we love you for what you did with the first one, but just retire. Just retire. You know, I love you for what you brought to the world, but just stay away from the Alien franchise now, please. You've done enough. You've done enough. Ridley Scott is just tarnishing in his own reputation and legacy. It's kind of like George Lucas with Star Wars, where like you did something great and then you try and make it awful with the prequels, and it's almost the same with Covenant. Alien Romulus. I've only seen it the once so far. It was on the big screen. As I said, the 3/4 of it I enjoyed, and it had some nice callbacks to the originals. It had a really nice atmosphere, some nice set pieces, a couple of bits where if you use your brain like that just doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work. Don't get me started on the bit with the body temperature. Ugh. I don't think it was A class. I'm gonna knock that one down and say it was not A class. Sunin says A question mark felt more like Alien. It does feel more like Alien, but I don't think it's A class. For a big part of that is the final act is just it tries to connect too much with the thread that Prometheus and Covenant create and tries to loop it all back together. So it's part of the canon in a way that it's looping back to that storyline they're trying to create of the weaponry and the DNA. And I'm trying not to be too spoilerific, but yeah, but we have to take that into account, that the ending is a big part of the movie and therefore it affects the overall picture. So for me, I'm erring between B and C because it's definitely not S, it's definitely not A. I'm erring between B and C. Given that we said, my brain is thinking C, but then I'm now comparing it with what else we have in C. And as we have Alien Resurrection in C and Prometheus in C, I think it's better than those two. So I think we can say that Alien Romulus is a B. That's what I'm going to go with. So there's the tier list of the movies. Alien and Aliens, S-Class. Alien 3 and Romulus, B. Alien Resurrection and Prometheus, C-Class. And the AVP movies and Alien Covenant as a D class. I felt like that was important to do. Also, Alien Isolation I have got in this list. Since it's so sad that a series we love so much is mostly trash. It's true. But it all stems off how good the first two were. But it is a shame that there is so much trash in there. Alien Isolation, not a movie, but obviously we're playing that right now. And I haven't finished, but we are probably, halfway through or so. And it will be interesting to do it again to come back when I finish the game and put this somewhere on the tier list and see, because I feel like they have tied it into the canon quite well. And so for me, at the moment as I'm playing it, Alien Isolation is probably flitting between an A and a B. All right, so there is our Alien tier list, and I think we will come back to this when we have created, when we've finished Alien Isolation, and we'll bung it in the list and see where we're at.